So let's use the SIR model and answer the question, when does an epidemic occur? An epidemic occurs when the infected individuals in a population starts growing exponentially. That's this exponential growth that everybody talks about. So what we need to do is look at the equation for I, which is right here, this equation. Okay, so we know that S is approximately n, which is the population size that we're considering. Everybody is susceptible. And I is the number of infectives is much less than the population size. Okay, so we use this equation. We have di dt equals S becomes n, approximately n. In the initial stage of epidemic, the number of infectives is small, so you're not really changing the population, the susceptible class much. It stays the same number as the population size. So di dt then becomes beta n minus gamma times I. Okay? This should be a very familiar differential equation for you. This is has a solution as an exponential function. So the solution here is that I of t equals whatever its initial value is times e to the beta n minus gamma times t. Okay? So we have an exponential. Of course, an exponential can be a growing exponential or a decaying exponential. So you get an epidemic when it's a growing exponential. So we get an epidemic when beta n minus gamma is positive, is greater than 0. Okay, beta n minus gamma is greater than 0. You can add gamma to both sides of this equation and then divide through by gamma. And then you get the equation beta n over gamma greater than 1. Okay, beta n over gamma greater than 1. And that is usually written as this basic reproductive ratio R naught greater than 1. So this is our definition of R naught. Okay, you might have heard that on the news. The basic reproductive ratio, that's what it's called. So when does an epidemic occur? It's when the basic reproductive ratio is greater than 1. Okay? In terms of our parameters, that's beta n over gamma. So remember, n is the population size. So a larger population size, you're more likely to have an epidemic. New York City, for instance. Beta is gives you the parameter that says how easy it is for an infected person to give a susceptible the disease. The easier it is to catch the disease, the higher the chance of the basic reproductive ratio being larger than 1. And gamma tells you the parameter of how quickly an infective person is removed, either isolated or recovers from the disease. The faster the person is removed, the larger is gamma, the smaller the basic reproductive ratio. So if an infective person stays around in the population for a longer period of time, it's also easier to have an epidemic. Okay? So large beta, small gamma leads to epidemics. There's another biological meaning of the basic reproductive ratio. I won't show you that here, but it is the average number of people that one infective person will infect. So if one person who gets the disease on average infects 3 other people, we say that R0 is equal to 3. Okay? For COVID-19, this R0 is estimated to be somewhere around 3. That's if there is no social distancing, right? If there's social distancing, then R0 goes down, becomes smaller. It becomes smaller because beta becomes smaller. The probability of an infected person infecting a susceptible becomes smaller. Okay. Let me review. Our epidemic disease model then gives us a concept of a basic reproductive ratio. A little more math that I'm not doing here shows you that this basic reproductive ratio is the average number of people that an infective person will pass the virus to, will get sick. And if one infected person infects more than one other person, the basic reproductive ratio is larger than 1, and you have the potential then to have an epidemic in a population. In the next video, let's look at some numerical solutions of the SIR model. I'm Jeff Chasnoff. Thanks for watching.